On card on India and the dengue vaccine. The dengue vaccine must be made affordable to those at greater risk. The CDSCO's approval of the dengue vaccine, the first in India's history, follows the vaccine's licensing in over 40 countries and the WHO pre-qualification and some of the country's worst dengue years vis-a-vis the disease's burden, although that is evidence of better surveillance as well. The Aedes mosquitoes that spread the disease are expanding into semi urban and rural districts where conventional vector control is harder to sustain. The time to develop the vaccine itself is understandable. The four antigenically distinct dengue serotypes and the possibility of a second infection by a different serotype producing more severe disease through antibody dependent enhancement mean that an effective shot has to induce strong immunity against all four at once. This constraint nearly derailed the first licensed dengue vaccine, Dengvaxia, and the controversy in the Philippines in 2017 promoted greater regulatory caution. The design of Qdenga by Japan based Takeda differs from that of Dengvaxia and, unlike the latter, can be administered without screening for a prior dengue infection. Its protection against the serotypes varies from highest against Den V2 followed by Den V1, while uncertainty remains regarding protection against Den V3 and Den V4 in people without prior exposure to dengue. This is concerning because while dengue 2 is more common in India, dengue 3 prevalence is increasing. If the dengue 3 serotype dominates in 2026 monsoon season, Qdenga's impact could be substantially lower than anticipated, especially if many recipients are dengue naive. Qdenga also requires two doses across 3 months apart. Clinical data suggest that the first dose protects unevenly with stronger evidence against DENV 1 and DENV 2 than DENV 3 and DENV 4. If a seronegative person takes the first shot on July 1, when the monsoon begins and encounters DENV 3 in August, the shot may not suffice to prevent severe illness. Ensuring the mobile migrant workforce receives its second dose will be significantly difficult too. Those falling through the cracks may also be exposed to concerns raised in the TIDES trial of the negative efficacy against hospitalization related to DENV 3 among seronegative children. Finally, following Takeda's tiered pricing strategy worldwide, Qdenga may be too expensive for people living in dense urban slums with poor drainage. To ensure sufficient uptake among the population at greater risk, the government must negotiate a lower price. In the end, administering a dengue vaccine properly in the population is no less tricky than developing a vaccine against dengue, and the Qdenga rollout should give no cause for complacency.
Complacency.
Complacency. Analysis. The success of the Qdenga vaccine depends on effective, affordable, and equitable implementation. The editorial welcomes the approval of Qdenga, India's first dengue vaccine, as a significant milestone in the country's fight against dengue, but cautions that regulatory approval alone will not guarantee public health success. It explains that developing a dengue vaccine is particularly challenging because the virus has four distinct serotypes, and infection by a different serotype can lead to more severe disease. Although Qdenga offers an important advantage over earlier vaccines by not requiring prior dengue screening, its protection is uneven across different serotypes, with uncertainties remaining against dengue 3 and dengue 4, especially, especially among seronegative individuals. Since dengue 3 is becoming more prevalent in India, the vaccine's real world effectiveness during the current monsoon season may be lower than expected. The editorial also highlights practical challenges such as ensuring people, particularly migrant workers, receive both required doses and addressing concerns about the vaccine's high cost, which could limit access for vulnerable populations living in densely populated urban areas. It argues that the government must negotiate lower prices, ensure equitable access, and closely monitor the vaccine's performance after rollout. Ultimately, the editorial concludes that the true success of the Qdenga vaccine will depend not only on scientific innovation but also on affordable pricing, complete vaccination coverage, careful implementation, and continued public health vigilance, warning that there is no room for complacency
Complacency.
complacency in the fight against dengue.